Hello, Eric here once again for Star Wars Reporter, and today we are doing a lightning review on Poe Dameron, Black Squadron. All right, so what's going on with that? It's essentially a prequel to The Force Awakens. It takes you up to that moment when Poe Dameron is getting that little thumb drive from Emperor Ming. If you don't get that reference, shame on you. Anyway, it takes you up to there, to how he got to that little back in the little world of Jakku and finding the last piece of the puzzle that they needed to go and find wherever in the heck it is that Luke Skywalker has been hiding out. This is a secret mission that Leia sent Poe on because, well, she didn't really trust a ton of people with it, and the New Republic wasn't really keen on having to take action for things. They didn't see the threat of the First Order that Leia saw growing because they were stupid, apparently. Anyway, so she sends him on the secret mission. Rules are essentially don't fire unless fired upon. And so he selects himself a squadron of people that he knows and that he trusts, and off they go, searching in some very strange and unusual places. And the first place they go is I forget the name of the planet, doesn't matter, but they come across some little cult that is worshiping, well, kind of what's in this giant blue egg, thinking that it's going to take it to the next level of existence or something. I don't know. It's odd. It's a strange thing to come across in this Star Wars universe that I'm used to, but hey, okay, why not, right? Of course, things, as always, don't go smoothly, otherwise it wouldn't be much of a story, right? They're getting tracked by the Empire. Some guy, Terex, who is kind of reminded me of a very rough around the edges, kind of a scumbag Thrawn, essentially. Really smart guy, really good with tactics, really good with intelligence, but not nearly as sophisticated, refined, or quite as smart as Thrawn. At least Thrawn is. I know and love him. So anyway, they get this one place trying to find information for wherever it is that Emperor Ming might be hiding out currently, because they, for whatever reason, they know that he's got the last piece of the puzzle, or at least is likely to. And he gets a little bit of information for him, not before a big fight with Terex and his band of stormtroopers, and before the egg hatches and the giant blue kaiju pops up that, instead of rewarding the cult for guarding it, starts to eat people. But then a big black kaiju comes out of freaking nowhere. I don't even know where this thing came from. They're underground, whatever, and they start fighting, having a kaiju fight in the middle of a Star Wars story. Cool, man. Why not? And that goes as you would expect. The apparently good guy kaiju wins and goes flying off with the cult members on its back. I have no idea where they're going. I don't know if they'll ever show up again, or if the kaiju will ever show up again. I'm kind of curious to see these weird kaiju things show up on screen sometime. I think that'd be really interesting. But anyway, of course, that's not where things go. They have to go, and so they go to a prison where they need to talk to a Hutt that apparently is someone that Emperor Ming went and visited as well. And Hutt's like, yeah, sure, I got what you need, but you got to break me out of prison. And of course, Terex shows up, and so it's a contest to see who can break the Hutt out of prison first. Naturally, Poe and everybody do, and yeah, that's pretty much what happens. They get the last piece of information and head to Jakku, and we know what happens from there, right? As far as overall thoughts of the story, again, the kaiju thing was interesting. Seeing Poe try to, lead the charge to break the Hutt out of prison, pretty cool. You see how he's quick on his feet. It's always fun to see the typical band of misfits you see in a Star Wars movie pulling together against much larger odds. Terex, I think, was a pretty cool villain. I liked him. Would be happy to see him elsewhere. Again, overall, this story I didn't love it the way I did like Vader Down. or anything like that. I think this might be kind of on par with the Princess Leia miniseries. Maybe a little better, maybe a little worse. And it's not the top tier of Star Wars entertainment, I would say. It's not the worst Star Wars thing I've ever read. That particular honor belongs to the Crystal Star. If you've read it, you know what I mean. At least I hope you do. In any case, and this is much better than that piece of garbage was. So anyway, again, Poe's done pretty well. Terex was a good villain, and you see some cool, interesting things in here. But in the end, it ends exactly where you know you're going anyway, which I think is a common problem that I'm noticing with a lot of the Star Wars, the new EU that I've been coming with, that we've been coming across lately. Even with the movies, a lot of them are prequels. You know where you're going. You know where you're going to end up. I think we need to be either moving the story forward or exploring unexplored corners of it. Or exploring things that lead up to what we know, but are done in such a way that it's like, oh, I never thought about that, or that didn't go exactly as I would have expected. Like they did with Rogue One, for example. That mission is a little bit different than what you would think, and it was cool. It was a fun story, even without the Vader scene at the end, which I will probably reference a lot over the years. Anyway, Poe Dameron, again, if you want to find out what Poe was up to before The Force Awakens, go ahead, give it a shot. Why not? If you just need to know, if you're a Star Wars completionist, obviously you're going to want this one. If you want to recommend something to a friend who isn't familiar with the Star Wars EU, don't do this one. Do Vader Down. Go do that one. Definitely go to that one instead. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to be reviewing next time, but I'm sure I will come up with something. So in the meantime, keep reading, keep watching, and may the Force be with you.